Welcome to the short Awareness 3 movement session. Do your hands serve you all day, but do you even know how they are moving? This week we'll explore the movement of your wrist and your fingers. So, your hands are together with your face, the largest body part represented in the homunculus in the brain. With 27 bones in one hand, there is so much to explore. So give your hands a break from your daily routine and enjoy some time becoming aware of this so important body part of yours. Take your time to find a comfortable position laying down. You either lay on the floor, on a carpet, or on a mat, or you can also do this laying in your bed. And if you found your position, close your eyes and take some time to settle here. You start bringing your awareness into this moment and into your body. You bring your awareness to yourself and sense the way you're feeling right now in this moment. Where did you place your hands? Which is your first choice, your comfortable position to have your hands? If you have them next to your side, which direction are your palms facing? And which one is your dominant hand? The hand you do your daily task with, write and eat. How does that hand feel at the moment? Does it feel different than your non-dominant hand? Do they feel the same? You just observe this for a second. Take your time observing it. Without any judgment, without any thinking about how it should be, there should be right and wrong. This is just how you are, how your hands are at the moment. And then start with your non-dominant hand first and come with your fingers to your face. Just gently touch your face there. And feel how that touch feels for you. And then let that go and take your dominant hand and come with your fingers to your face and just move your fingers a little bit over your face, over your skin, and feel that touch. Is there a difference in the touch of your fingers, of these both hands? And then let that go as well. So you start working with your dominant hand. For that, you bend your elbows so that your forearm is vertical towards the ceiling. And then you leave your elbow there and start moving your wrist. You straighten your wrist so that your fingers point towards the ceiling, and then bend it so that your fingers point towards you. You do this as a really slow, gentle movement, just bending and straightening your wrist so that you can feel the movement. How do your fingers feel while you're doing this movement? Do they touch each other? Or is there space in between? Do they bend and straighten as well? Or do they stay the same and it's really just your wrist moving? Observe this movement and make it really as gentle, soft, and slow as you can do it. And then leave your hand hanging there, so your fingers pointing towards you. How are your fingers now? Bring your awareness to your thumb. And then just start moving your thumb with very tiny movements so that the other fingers can stay still. How do you move your thumb? Do you bend it or circle it? Can it be slow and soft? And then leave your thumb and just move your index finger. How do you move this finger? Can it move all by itself, really slow and gentle? And then leave your index finger and just move your middle finger. Does your middle finger touch the other fingers while it's moving? Now leave your middle finger and just move your ring finger. Can it move easily by itself? Which movements do you choose here? You bend or circle it? And then you let go of the movement in your ring finger and just move your pinky. How does that little finger move? Do the other fingers want to join the movement, or is it allowed to move by itself? In really slow and gentle movements. Maybe in your day-to-day life you use your fingers all the time. Maybe for your job, maybe for writing or cooking. There are so many movements that your fingers are doing, but did you ever explore how they are moving? How they feel while you're moving them, while you're using them to perform really your actions in this world? Now leave your fingers and start moving your wrist again. Upwards so that your fingertips point to the ceiling, and downward so that your fingers are coming down, pointing towards you. How are your fingers moving now? Is there a little bit more independency between the wrist movement and your fingers? Do your fingers touch? Or is there space in between? Did the movement get easier, or are you getting tired? So leave your hand hanging again. Anytime you feel like you need a break or have a rest, you can just put your hand down, put it somewhere, maybe on your belly or next to you. But for now, if your hand is hanging, where do your fingers point to? And then start turning your hanging hand there, moving it at the wrist a little more towards your face, and then a little more towards your feet. You go slow and gentle. How slow can you go? Just turning. Do not go as far as you can. Enjoy the movement. Feel where it stops being easy and soft. You keep turning your hanging hand, moving it at the wrist, a little more towards your face, and a little more towards your feet. And then you keep your hand turned away from you. And from this position, start moving your hand up and down so that you bend and straighten your wrist again, so that your fingers come to the ceiling and then point downwards to you again. How does that feel in this position where your wrist is turned a little bit away from you? Remember to do this movement slow and really explore the movement. Be curious. Does it make a difference? And then you leave your hand hanging and turn it the other way, so that your hand comes a little bit more towards your face. And in this direction, you raise your hand up and down. You bend and straighten your wrist. Are you still breathing? Can you enjoy this movement? And what are your fingers doing? Now leave your hand hanging. And really soft, hanging there, the fingers pointing towards you. And then from here, bring your hand up so your wrist straightens and your fingers point towards the ceiling. So your hand is not hanging, but straight towards the ceiling. And in this position, you move your thumb towards your pinky. How do you do that? Is that an easy movement? They don't need to touch, it's just the movement from the thumb towards the pinky. It does not need to arrive there. And then you move your pinky towards your thumb. Do the other fingers want to join the movement? Does the pinky reach the thumb? And then you move both thumb and pinky towards each other so that you touch the fingertips. You do that a few times and be aware of what the other fingers are doing. And then touch with the thumb the fingernail of the pinky. Go back. And then put the pinky onto the fingernail of the thumb. You keep your hands soft. And you just alternate this movement. Pinky on the fingernail of the thumb, and then thumb on the fingernail of the pinky. What are the other fingers doing? Now move the fingertips of your thumb and your pinky towards each other and keep them together. Send the other 3 fingers. And now you keep thumb and pinky together and you bend the other 3 fingers while pinky and thumb touch each other. You bend the 3 fingers and straighten them again. And then you pause this movement. You keep thumb and pinky together, but now let your hand hanging again. And in this position, start bending the other 3 fingers. What is easier for you? To do this movement with your hand hanging, or having your hand, your wrist long towards the ceiling? You can explore that for yourself, really play with that a little bit. Thumb and pinky are together, and you move the other 3 fingers, bend and straighten them. Can you be curious and explore the movement? Where does your attention go to? Where do you have your awareness there? What thoughts may come up? And then take a moment to pause. Bring your elbow down, bring your hand down. Sense how you're breathing. How does your hand feel now, and your wrist? Your fingers? How does it feel for you to bring so much awareness to your fingers? Although you probably use them every day, maybe the whole day, do you ever pay so much attention to them and how they are moving? Sense your hand, your fingers, your arm, your wrist, your shoulder blade. How's your hand oriented now? How does your other hand feel? Do you remember the first movement from the beginning? Take the non-dominant hand, the hand you did not explore the movements with, and touch your face again with your fingers. How does that feel? And then touch your face with the fingers of the hand you explored the movement with. Is there a difference in the touch? Maybe there is a difference. Maybe there is not. Just openly explore what you feel there. And then from here, take your time, roll over to one side, come to sitting, and then to standing. Your arms are hanging, and take some time to sense for yourself. Did these movements affect the way you are standing? While you're standing there, how is it now to turn to the sides? Just if you want to look behind you to the right, to the left. Which side is easier to turn to? There can be huge differences in what someone feels after exploring movements in a session like that. So you don't want to expect anything, and there's no right or wrong or how things should be. Just openly explore and listen to what is happening in your body, in your whole self, your breathing. And then make sure that your eyes are open and you just go for a little walk. Maybe just walk around the room. If you have the time, maybe go for a walk outside. And let the sensations, everything you explored there, settle for a while. Now, if you like, you can repeat this session with your other hand, but maybe take your time and really just let what you explored now settle for a while. You can always come back to this another day, another time. And remember that your hands are always there for you, your fingers moving, and if they start complaining, there might be ways to explore your movement, to find different ways to move. So to find a gentle way for yourself, for your movements. Because you don't have to live with the pain if you're open and curious to explore your options.